It's your boy Nymrod, Federal District Records. You are watching HeritageHipHop.com.
Peace and blessings, everybody watching Heritage Hip Hop. I'm here with a special voice and a special MC. One that when you think about, you know what hip hop is. He shows you the undercurrent and the undertone through rhymes and through poetry. Tell everybody who you are.
My name is Nymrod, God's gift in the world's future. The devil's advocate, disrespect and not shoot you. Brooklyn finest, LI representative, NYC ambassador, Max B apprentice. So focused, I'll finish the sentence. This what God look like, and God look right. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah, that's what we're talking about. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to being a showman, an MC, and a performer. Because even through your introduction, you gave people an insight to know that you're more than an MC. You're a wordsmith and you're a world builder at the same time.
Right.
So let's talk about it. Tell everybody a little bit about your history and where you're from.
I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, Cooper Projects. You know what I'm saying? I grew up out there, as a shorty. Then I moved to Canarsie, and then I moved to Brownsville. And then, I went away for a little bit on vacation.
All right. Now, one thing about Brooklyn that's known is Brooklyn keeps on taking it. And Brooklyn has the strong arm ability to always represent whenever the call is out for where you're from.
That's a fact.
What does it mean to be from Brooklyn, and what does it mean to bring Brooklyn to the mic when you touch it?
To be from Brooklyn is like, again, where I'm born and raised. You know what I mean? I think anybody should represent where they born and raised from. You know what I mean? I don't care if you live in the Bronx, if you live in Staten Island, you're from Long Island, Jersey. If you're born and raised there, it's nothing like bringing your town to the forefront. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of great MCs did it. Biggie did it. You know what I'm saying? Jay did it. Big Pun did it. It's nothing like bringing your borough out and being the head of your borough, representing your borough. So, that's what it's about for me.
The thing about being from Jersey is there's the stigma of New York versus New Jersey. And corporate-wise, there is, but hip-hop-wise, there's not.
Right.
Brooklyn and Newark has a secret love affair that's been going on for decades.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember hearing stories about people from Jersey going across the water doing business, and yet they would come back with so much Brooklyn love. And then some New York cats will come over to Elizabeth Ave, or they'll come over to like Vailsburg, Hooterville,
right.
And the love was so synonymous that not only hip hop brought us together, it was not only the has and has not that brought us together, it was that camaraderie, a love of being individual yet together.
Right.
As an MC from New York, y'all face the double-edged sword. Y'all are your own country and your own world at the same time.
Right.
Tell me about the Brooklyn style and how it's different from the other boroughs first.
I feel like it's a lot more street. You know what I mean? A lot more gutter, a lot more street. Every artist that I know from Brooklyn gives you a different aspect of their life. And I mean every artist too. But I just feel like it's way more gutter and way more street. And we only know how to give it to you that way. You understand? So that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure every artist feel that way, no matter, again, where you're from. But I just feel like it's just way more gutter and more street coming from the streets of Brooklyn.
Me personally, I love Brooklyn. And the reason why I love Brooklyn is because I've been able to touch, only not the whole Brooklyn, because Brooklyn is huge.
Right. We got a lot of spots in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but my understanding of Brooklyn is not only the projects, it's the Hebrew Israelites out there, it's the churches, it's Fulton Street Mall back in the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Brooklyn has a lot of flavor to it, just like downtown Newark do. You think you get one thing, but there's so many other things that keep it crisp and sharp.
Right.
And the crispest and sharpest thing in Brooklyn is wordplay. Tell me what it is to be adverse in wordplay, so when a person hears you, you be like, oh, that's a Brooklyn dude right there.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's to be sharp. You got to be sharp. It's one thing. Being out in the ciphers, I remember as a shorty, my brother AZ, he was always in the ciphers, and just hearing them, you understand, it was just like amazing. You understand the things they used to say, and that's what drove me in part to be an artist as well, because just the way they put shit together was crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, whoa. And then the thing about it is, they really live in that shit. You understand me? Or they really done that shit. So when I hear them say it, again as a little kid, And then I'm out there, you know, whether I'm walking with my mom when I was a shorty or, you know, being around my big brother, because I always wanted to be down, even though I was a little kid. Just to see them do it and say it and how they put it together, oh, man.
I mean, when I was getting the word that I was going to interview you, and this was months ago, I really wanted to do a drive-through with you in Brooklyn and see you in your element.
Oh, we can still do that.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to see all the fly ladies and the hip-hop spots and the graffiti. I want to see all that.
Do that.
And the reason why is because a man once said, if you read a book and don't know the author, you don't know the book.
That's a fact.
And the same thing in hip-hop. If you don't know the environment which the MC came from, you'll never understand his story.
That's a fact.
And hearing your music, you have a large story, but a larger canvas. I'm going to talk about that in the next part of the interview. But in doing a little history, I see that you had connections, we said, with Max B, Cam, and some of those people. Talk about that history and how that helped groom you towards being a spitter on the mic.
Well, Max Beats showed me how to rap. You know, shout out to Max. He'll be home next year. Excited about that.
Salute.
You
can give me that interview, by the way.
Okay, we work it out. Yeah, he'll be home next year in April. So, you know, I'm excited for Max. But just to be around him and learn, I did 5.5 years with Max. Like, my whole bid was with him. And from being in the booth where the phone is, knocking on the wall and him showing me how to put bars together was amazing, you know what I'm saying? So he really took a liking to me. And then coming home and then meeting up with him, and then the studio I was going to in Yonkers, it was so crazy that Cam's manager was right next door. You understand me? So me being at Morpheus studio and British coming over there, British was like, oh, who's this? And he listened to my music and he took me on this wing for a little bit. So I wound up bringing us together and stuff like that. And at that time, Jim was putting together his label, you know, the Bird Gang. So I decided to work over there for a little bit with them. You know what I mean?
Did Max B teach you rhyming, or did he teach you how to own your flavor? Because you're not a rapper and you're not an MC. You are a painter.
Right.
Now, see, the thing about heritage hip hop is we listen to music. We don't ride people and just be like, yo, you're great, you're this, you're that.
Right.
I listen to your music first. So I'm glad that we didn't do the interview when we did, because it got me to take time to absorb your music.
Right.
And if you notice, I didn't want to go follow you real fast and all that. I wanted to take my time, because when you absorb something, you hear and you listen.
Yeah, you get a way better understanding.
So as an MC, what does it mean to be heard, understood, and reflected upon when you rhyme, rather than somebody just bobbing your head and just vibing with you?
That means a lot. That's what the music is all about. It's all about that. If you don't do that, then it's no purpose. You understand me? Because you're going to bob your head to my joint one day, then you hear somebody else and forget about me. But if you really paid attention to what I said and took it in, oh man, that's going to stay with you forever. Then you're going to be waiting to hear the next song from me. You understand me? Instead of just bobbing your head for that minute. So somebody absorb me, this is amazing.
You got 3 songs I'm going to touch on in this interview that I loved, not liked. And that's why I said you're a painter, because we're going to talk about not only your music style, but you got video style too. Smooth as hell. And I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
You don't think about, everybody says the thing about a Brooklyn MC is either they're real hard or they slick. You know what I'm saying? And the different parts of Brooklyn show you that. Helter Skelter, MOP, Trigger the Gambler, Smooth the Hustler, Brownsville.
Yes. You
got Marcy with Jay-Z, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You got Clinton Hills and all the other. But the one thing that solidifies Brooklyn is the fact that Brooklyn has the representation of we the borough above all boroughs.
Right.
You know, even Nas had to call it out and says Brooklyn to Queens, and that's the main argument.
Wow.
But the thing about Brooklyn that I seen within you and I want you to touch on is this. Brooklyn has a defined truth that only a certain few will understand it, because not everybody's able to catch it. What is that undefined or definable truth that makes Brooklyn Brooklyn in your opinion?
It being who it is, not to change. You understand what I'm saying? I see a lot of change within hip hop. You understand? Like it lost its way, and a lot more artists out of Brooklyn. You know, just to touch on that. Kept it their way. You understand? You don't see a lot of trap and a lot of tight clothes and a lot of, you understand? Kept it street. So that's what it means to me. You understand?
the thing about New York and Brooklyn is that y'all are like the Lord of the Rings and the Game of Thrones, all within yourselves. New York City is unlike anything else because this is why I think people from New York don't understand Jersey, and people from Jersey don't really understand New York. Right. I'm gonna give you my opinion. You tell me what you think.
All right.
Jersey is a landmass, but because New York is the media capital, and they get their power from Jersey, satellite-wise, for their radio stations.
Right.
Jersey's taken as whatever the mainstream give you. Mm-hmm. So you have North Jersey and South Jersey, and you have this fake belief of Central Jersey that really doesn't exist.
Right. Okay.
North Jersey is geared towards New York City. South Jersey is geared more towards Philly.
Right.
So Jersey doesn't have that real identity. It's defined by the two outskirts.
Right. Right.
Where New York is. If we take 5 boroughs today, we'll do 5.
We do 5.
Okay, that's 5 different countries on one landmass. Because Brooklyn slang is different than Harlem slang, different than Manhattan, Bronx, whatever.
You can tell the difference. A Harlem nigga, Brooklyn nigga, Bronx nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
You can though. You can.
And all it is y'all are different countries separated by bridges.
Yeah.
And when you cross that bridge, you can feel the energy and the spirit change. What does that mean when it comes to how you battle and how you proving your MC to cross those different borders in them lands to prove yourself?
The respect that's given. When I go to Queens and they show me the love of me being an artist, it's amazing. When I go to Long Island, because I got a house in Long Island now, so I'm out there. In Long Island, and it's no bullshit. They treat me like I'm God out there. Understand? And that's a beautiful thing. So it makes me feel good when I go to different areas. And now I'm in Jersey, and I'm earning my respect and stuff like that. I linked up with a lot of new people, not for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that's my management right now. So just to be around them and gain my respect in New Jersey is a big deal as well. So it's the respect and appreciation of going to different places, the different boroughs, and having them respect me as an artist, as the top artist. You know what I mean? So I love that.